All right, so marketing obviously is near and dear to my heart. I love marketing. One of the reasons what made us start this webinar series was to help people who actually asked for help as far as mentorship. We ran out of time in our day to just spend time and mentor each and every person. We have about 11 people that we talk to on the regular as far as what should they do in real estate, how should they increase getting leads. So we found it best to not take maybe 2 to 3 hours out of our day, but to dedicate every other Thursday to it so that we can pour out to you guys in this hour and you can ask us any questions you have and we can talk about a topic so that you can learn about the topic and then just build from there. This week, we're talking about marketing. We're going to talk about some useful marketing strategies. So let's dig in. All right. So the key to being any business owner is marketing. Marketing is for every business, in every business. In order to be a business owner, you have to not only be an innovative thinker, but a marketing genius. You have to spend time with your marketing. You have to come up with things that are outside of the normal and set trends. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about. There's different types of marketing. These aren't all of the marketing types, but these are quite a few of them. There's direct mail when you're sending mail out to a list. You have social media marketing, and that's your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, all of those social media marketing forms. Craigslist marketing, you have autoresponders. Those are email responders. You have email campaigns, which are similar to autoresponders, but the email campaigns are a little different, and we'll talk about that. Bandit signs, those are the signs that you see where it says we buy houses, house for sale, house for rent. Those are bandit signs. Flyers, you know what flyers are. You can hand out flyers, you can post flyers, however you want to do it, but those, you know what flyers are. Landing pages. Landing pages are also similar to squeeze pages, and it's a website that that basically gives you a area to input information so that it goes to your database. So the customer will fill out information before going to your website, and in return, you'll capture their information so that you have them in your system. Website is exactly what you're on. As if you're on Zoom online, it's zoom.us. That's a website for Zoom, and it lets you do this webinar actually. Logo. We'll talk about logo a little bit in detail, but logos are important when it comes to marketing. Sometimes your logo alone can stand as your marketing. Marketing dues. All right. Creating a brand. A brand is something that when someone sees it, they know for sure, hey, this is you. This is Ashley. This is Antonio. This is Denmark Properties. This is 123 LLC, whoever you are. This is who you are. It's important with the brand that you let people know who you are, what you do, and how to get in contact with you. It's very important. I like with a lot of our marketing that we put how to follow us on Twitter, how to follow us on Instagram, how to follow us on Snapchat, how to follow us on YouTube. So that way, our team, the people who are following us, they always know, hey, I can find Denmark Properties there. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. You want to make sure you're creating a brand. And when you're creating a brand, it lets people know who you are. So they start to say, hey, that logo is a part of 123 LLC. That way you start to create that brand and you start to create who you are and set yourself apart from others. All right. Consistency. I've had so many people to call and say, hey, I've been doing this for about a month and I haven't got anything from it. I'm not getting any leads from it. It's not working. I don't think people like it. My marketing, it must suck. No. Consistency. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Keep tugging at it. And eventually something will pull something will break free. So be consistent with whatever you're doing. Change is constant. Although change is constant, it's natural to resist. And make sure that whatever you're doing with social media, whatever you're doing with your direct mail, whatever you're doing with your website, that you're consistent, because people don't respond well to change. They want you to be consistent. They want to kind of guess, hey, I know this is going to come through around this time. So they're looking forward to it. So keep them looking forward to you. Stay consistent so that you can build that brand. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to put in a few questions, and we'll go ahead and answer them in the middle of the webinar if it's pertaining to the question. Let's move a little bit. All right, so logos. Once you've identified your business name, it's important to get a logo or have someone to create one for you. Your logo should be on everything. Nothing should go without your logo. See, Antonio's wearing our logo. You can't really see it, but I'm wearing our logo. It's everywhere. Your logo is you. You become a part of your logo. There's different types of logos that you can have. There's a vector and there's a raster. The difference between the two is one is good for online presence, for like your website, and one is more of a PNG format where you can put it on different things and it doesn't affect its quality and size. So make sure you look into the two. I say get both. If you're creating a logo, make sure you get one that's raster, one that's a vector, because then at that point you can use it for anything. A good place, if you don't have someone that can design a logo for you, is how do you say that? Fiverr.com. So there's so many people on there where Fiverr.com. It's on the web page. If you can't see it and you're on the phone, it's www.f as in frog, I as in ice cream, B as in Victor, E as in Edward, R as in Robert, R as in Robert.com. And it basically gives you insight to people who build websites, people who create logos, people who write blog content, just pretty much everything, SEO marketing, anything you can think of, programming, they can do it. And you just bid on different projects. A lot of things on there cost $5, and you can get a $5 logo. Of course, if you want a vector and a raster, you're probably going to pay a little more than $5. You're probably going to pay more. But that's a good place for finding someone to create it. And then you can kind of decide which one do you like as your logo. You don't have to just stick with one person giving you that logo. Website. Number 4 is website. Your online presence is everything. Customers look to validate to see if you're real. They want to see if who you say you are, you really are. And they'll also, I've had a couple of people come into the office because, okay, they saw the website. Now they want to see, is it really an office? So your customers, they do it. And it's okay. You want them to know you are real. So give them good website presence. I have a few websites on there that you can go to as far as building websites. They don't cost as much as some of the other sites. You can also go to Fiverr and get you one that's custom made with the SEO in the background. Someone can build it. It's all about how much money you want to spend. MyOneInOne.com is great for websites. Wix.com offers a free website. I recommend the paid version so that you don't have in your address 123 Main Street.wix.com. So people don't know it's a Wix website, that you got the free one and you were too cheap to pay for your own business. So be careful with Wix. Excuse me. But they're very user friendly. GoDaddy offers a website. Connected Investors. You can build websites with Connected Investors. So there's plenty of places. Vistaprint offers you websites. Did you have any place else, Sonia?
No, that was about the main ones. It's just about researching and finding what you want your website to look like. what type of presence you want, and you got to have a vision for what you want. You just can't hope to have something. You got to kind of have a vision and a dream. And as you're looking for websites, know what you're looking for.
Awesome, awesome.
Landing pages. Landing pages in business, it's important to build lists. And earlier we had a question about, do we build a buyer's list first or a seller's list first? To answer her question, I would say a buyer's list. And you would build the buyer's list by building landing pages. Landing pages are basically one-page websites that allow you to capture that lead information, phone number, email, name, property address. You can build it however you want, but the main focus is to capture the information so that it can go to your buyer's list. And once you have the buyer's list or seller's list, then you can blast out to that list properties that you have for sale or properties you have under contract. But landing pages are important. We have probably about 3 or 4 landing pages. A good example is when you go on Google, a lot of times the paid advertisement, the first 3 are basically landing pages. And they're always trying to offer you something free, whether it's a book, some type of files to gather your information. Your information is very important.
Absolutely. Miss Smith asked the question, doesn't Wix and GoDaddy promote their name in the website as well as your business name? So if you want to strictly have your name in the site, you have to pay. Yes, they'll promote their name too so that people know, hey, you're using Wix. That's why your website looks so phenomenal. If you want just your name, then you'll have to pay. They have different costs and fees, but you'll have to pay for it to remove their name. Yeah.
Personally, we use My One and One. It was when we first started, that was the best one price wise with quality and content. So we still use it 5, 6 years later.
Yeah, because they've been upgrading it, and I just change it occasionally, but all the information's on there. So if it's working for me.
And My One and One also has a built-in SEO section that allows you to make your website relevant. And when I say SEO, that's search engine optimization. That should have been on our first webinar. And
it was on
the first
second
one. And that allows you to be seen in Google and Yahoo and Bing. That makes you relevant by your SEOs.
Absolutely. Good job. All right. Some people think direct mail is expensive. Some say it's inexpensive. I think that direct mail is very inexpensive when it comes to capturing a lead, especially if, I'll say, per lead. Say you sent out some letters to a probate list and you got a return, which was a deal, and that deal made you 10,000. Maybe you sent out 2 or 3 letters to that person. At that rate, that's very inexpensive for that lead. But it kind of all depends on how many you're sending out, how big of a list you're using, and how good your list is. So make sure when you're doing direct mailing, you're mailing to a specific group of people. You make sure you have a good list source. So make sure wherever you're getting your source from, that is good information. It's not outdated. It's pretty accurate. If you're using a tax list, make sure your tax list is an updated tax list. If you're using foreclosures, make sure it's current foreclosures or pre-foreclosures, probate, just make sure it's accurate. Design great content. Make sure it's something that's going to get someone to say, hey, they look legit. I'm going to call them. No one wants to see something where your words are spelled wrong, your paper's dirty. Make sure you have quality. Make sure everything is quality, and make sure your content is very good. It's eye-opening, makes them want to read it and find out who you are. I always say put your website on here because, again, they want to see if you're real. So in your direct mail, put your website at the bottom, put your phone number, let them be able to find you if they need you. Test your list. I told you this on the second webinar. Make sure that you're not changing something up every week. Change something up, give it a 2-3 week span so that you can test it before you change something else. So if you're changing your font, don't change your font and your message all at the same time. Either you're going to change your font for 3 weeks and leave your message, and then, or you're going to change your message for 3 weeks and leave your font. Keep it so that you can test and see what are the people opening, what's giving me the most responses. Is it postcards? Is it letters? What exactly is it? Is it brochures? That's a great way for testing it. And then track your responses. You should be able to know exactly, hey, if I send out 60 of these, I should have one person. And again, it's not going to come right off the bat. It's going to come over time. You guys are hitting me up with some questions. Hold on.
Before you go to the questions.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Just a little nugget on direct mail. It doesn't always have to be a postcard. There's different forms of direct mail. There's postcards, there's letters, there's envelopes. So there's different forms of direct mail. The most common form is postcard, but a lot of times you get stuff in the mail that they're advertising to you. All that's considered direct mail.
Absolutely. Someone said, would you recommend using the post office for direct mail? I researched some info and they charge about 17 cents a piece of advertising. It's almost like the advertisement you receive from Pizza Hut or local restaurants. Yes, you can definitely use the post office. You can use, what's the other one? Is it mail to click? What's the?
Click to mail.
Click to mail. Vistaprint also offers it. We did a test with Vistaprint, and it actually, how many weeks did it take for us to get the direct mail? Was it 2 weeks when we did it? It wasn't the next day or the day after. It was probably a week. And that actually didn't help us because we were sending it to pre-foreclosures at that time. And time is of the essence when you're sending pre-foreclosures. So if they get it a week later, it's possible that they could be in the auction or very close to auction. So just find out exactly when you're sending it. But there are a bunch of different sites. 17 cents is very cheap. I recommend it. That's good. Especially if you're sending out little postcards, that should work perfect.
I agree.
Eddie put, how do you keep track of follow-ups? Do you have a local recommendation for prints on t-shirts?
That's two separate questions.
All right. So how do you keep track of follow-ups? Whatever system you're using, put it in there. You can put it on a spreadsheet where you're highlighting, hey, I need to follow up with this person, and make that follow-up red. Say red is your follow-up color. You know, every time you go to that list, red is who I need to follow up on. I know when we did our direct mail, we would have red, meaning the lead was dead, yellow meaning it was return mail, green meaning they actually called us, and white was we need to keep sending to them.
So, and also, every time we send out a piece of mail, we track the date that we send it out. So we constantly tracking the date that we send it so that we are on top of the information that's going out.
And which type of mailing we're sending. So we'll have the date, it's a letter, the date is a postcard, and how many letters it took or postcards it took for them to actually call us. Do you have a local recommendation for prints on t-shirts? Eddie, I'm just going to be real with you. It's expensive to get t-shirts. We actually just purchased our heat press machine a few weeks ago because it was costing us about $10-15 a watt for shirts. So I have some people that I can give you that does shirts. Can I use it?
Yes,
we can make arrangements. That's fine. But yeah, we have some people. Keisha Nelson, if you follow her on Facebook, she does t-shirts. Jasmine Moss, she does t-shirts. Jasmine also has a silk screening business where she can actually do more shirts than the vinyl. We have the vinyl machine. And what was the other girl name that we just met? Jocelyn. I'll have to give you her last name. But she also does shirts. She does a lot of shirts. Okay, so Kathy said, hi, does traditional door-to-door marketing still work? Absolutely. It really works a lot. We found that when we go door knocking, we get more calls. So at one point we were doing Saturday door knocking with the kids in the car. Yeah. And we were getting deals.
And the combination of
You're
door
welcome, Eddie.
knocking and direct mail usually work hand in hand. And a lot of times, if they wasn't there, we would leave them a packet, and we got a lot of callbacks from the packet. We'll leave it on the door compared to in the mailbox. For some reason, that worked.
Yeah, and like the packets will have our card, our brochure, who we are, what we do, how we can help them. Some people would peek through the window, see you, not open the door, but they'll call you later once they look at it. And it was just because they saw you and they felt more comfortable that you were leaving your information and they could really see who you were. Uh, Autoresponders. Let's move this over a little. Autoresponders are a great way to keep your list engaged, your people engaged. We actually use RealFlow for our autoresponders, and what that does is when they're putting in their information in the landing page, it sets them up to receive messages, emails from us based on how many emails we set up. So it'll automatically be sent out if we set it up for every 7 days. Every 7 days, the people on that particular list will get a message from us, and it's already designed what type of message they'll get. And it's just so that we can stay on their mind and be relevant. Other places that offer autoresponders are MailChimp. I actually don't use MailChimp for that. I use MailChimp just to send email marketing campaigns out. And those are whenever we have a deal, whenever we are doing rehab, just things of that nature. I'm constantly sending it to my list so that they know, hey, this is what Denmark Properties is doing. And I may need to call them because I see a house that I want. Constant Contact is a good one. I know several people that use Constant Contact and Aweber, but we use RealFlow.
Uh, just to kind of give you an overall view of how these things work together. For us, we're kind of on an automation tip right now, so we're trying to do things that streamlines our process. We use RealFlow. That's our main database. And in RealFlow, it basically has pre-made landing pages. And along with those pre-made landing pages, it has pre-made autoresponders. So with us, once a person inputs their information in our landing page, it goes automatically to our buyers list, but it also automatically signs them up for autoresponders. And along with autoresponders, they get the MailChimp campaigns periodically.
That was perfect. Social media. This one is a big one. I feel you feel like a dinosaur. Don't feel like a dinosaur. All right. So with social media, it's important that you provide value to your customers. So you kind of want to give 80% of value, meaning give them stories, give them tips, give them things that's not advertisement.
Give them useful things.
Yes. 20% advertisement. A lot of us go wrong in this aspect, and even sometimes we do. If our interns haven't set it up, I tell them don't count my advertisements, it's just extra. But I like them to do an 80-20 rule. We usually hit more of a 75-30 rule in our office, but ideally you should have an 80-20. And get on social media websites that followers are on. So if followers aren't on Tumblr, don't get on there. That's irrelevant. You want to go where the people are because that's who you want to build your brand to. Got it?
Can you break down the difference between what's a advertisement and what's value?
Okay, so value is a story about the real estate market in Ohio is increasing compared to last year by 20%. That's the story. That's adding value. It's telling the people who live in Ohio, hey, it's increasing. Maybe it's a good time for me to buy a house. Maybe it's a good time for me to get an investment property. Advertisement is Denmark Properties has a lease purchase available for you today. Check it out. Strictly advertisement.
We're basically trying to sell something, or we're trying to capture the information. When we give stories, it's only information. There's no click here for nothing. But when we do advertisement, we're trying to sell a product or we're trying to capture the information, or we're looking for leads, all that's advertisement.
So my favorite social media sites are Facebook. That's my ultimate favorite. Facebook, Instagram. We do LinkedIn. We do Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter fan. Some people actually do really good on Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter fan. I just do it because. And my interns this year have me on Snapchat. Not a Snapchat fan. We don't have enough followers. It doesn't excite me. I have seen quite a few people use Pinterest in real estate. So if you're providing value and information, Pinterest can be a great site. But my main ones are Facebook, Instagram.
We just hit 700 followers on Facebook.
Yeah.
So that was a big accomplishment. Our goal is 1,000 before the year's out.
Before the year's out. Side note. I don't understand, Miss Smith. Ask that question differently. Side note, that's what SN is.
Snapchat.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was side note. All right, Snapchat has the best filters, and you can create a personalized filter. It does. I just don't have followers on Snapchat. I don't have enough people that are following me. I don't have 700 people. I have 40. And I can't just randomly go get people. I have to be by them and tell them, follow me. So with every form of marketing, it should be strategically done. Create a detailed plan, determine the frequency, how often you're going to do it, determine what your look is, determine the cost, and determine the audience that you're going to send it to. Be creative, make it fun. Advertising is supposed to be fun, make it fun. Don't overthink it, don't underthink it, make it just right, have fun, and be consistent. That's what that word frequency is. Be consistent with it. If you're going to do it every week, then you do it every week. If you're going to do it every day, then you do it every day. Make your look in uniform and make sure you can afford it.
Nothing.
All right, so question and answers. Start typing in your questions and I will unmute your video, so that you can go ahead and say it.
Last slide.
This is Q&A. Yeah.
I missed a lot.
All right, Eddie, you raise your hand. Let me find you.
But before Eddie goes, let me say this. Marketing is the topic, but all conversations are on the table. Anything you have going on, anything you want to know, this is the time to ask.
Yeah, this is for you. This is your Q&A session. If you're struggling with a deal, you got a question about a deal, hit us with it. Let's do it.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, good thing y'all said that, because I have a question that's not necessarily related to marketing, but I got y'all, so cool, I'm gonna ask it. All right, so I want to see, in y'all opinion, how would y'all deal with tenants? How would y'all deal with guests that's visiting tenants for an extended period of time, but they're not on the lease? And the thing is, you still have a good tenant. You don't really want to evict them or scare them away, but at the same time, you want to lay down the law and let them know, like, listen, you can't have any people living in the unit if they're not on the lease. I was thinking about just sending an email to them, just reminding them about, what the lease says, and that, if they want to add someone, they would have to get a written request. But before I go ahead and do something, I want to see, like, what's y'all opinion on it? Do y'all think I should do something or just let it ride?
Go ahead, Tanya. You know my thoughts.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Antonio's thoughts. Are they paying their rent on time? Are they paying their rent? Eddie?
Muted. Are we muted? Can't hear me?
Well, I'm gonna just answer the questions because, in my opinion, don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself over things of that nature. That's gonna happen. They're gonna come. They're gonna go. But it's gonna hurt your pockets if that tenant leaves because you're harassing them about somebody staying in the house. To me, it don't matter. You got bigger things to worry about. I'm gonna let Ashley ask.
You know, I'm a little bit more harder. I would tell them, hey, this is what the lease says. There's a $25 application fee or whatever it is. If this person's going to be here for over 30 days, then I'm going to need to run them to make sure they're legit. But make sure you can handle that if they say, we're about to leave. So if you need that rent, don't play it.
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Not yet, baby.
Anything else, Eddie?
Back in the room.
Got it?
Back in the
Okay.
room. I seen some other hands raised. Did you see them? Before.
Devontae has a hand raised.
Hold on, y'all. Be quiet, cause I'm on. Hey, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up? You good?
You.
Hey, I miss y'all too. But listen, I got a great question. It ain't involving the marketing piece, but I've been fortunate to run up around some heavy hitters in Fort Worth that actually invest hard in Birmingham. My head coach got me hooked up with one of them. Actually, one of them is responsible for he is buying or like he's got a big deal. Like he's doing a big deal with the Dome downtown. Like I met with him and talked with him, and he was like, well, you know, I'm just buying up a lot in Birmingham right now because it's so cheap. So I'm trying to see how can I sweeten the deal with him to possibly make him my private money member. I got a chance to speak to him and on like to the side and let him know what I want to do when it comes to real estate. Hold on. Let him know what I want to do when it comes to real estate. And like he seemed pretty interested in it. So like if I could get tips from the pros on what I would have to do in order to seal that thing, because that's a big deal when it comes to the Birmingham Dome or the Birmingham Stadium. As far as making him my private money lender and actually getting into more of my real estate adventures, what do you think would be the best thing to kind of sway his opinion? Like just putting the deal in front of him and showing him what I really got?
I would almost backdoor it. And what I would do, I would find out what his buying criteria is.
Okay.
And find out what his buying criteria is. Whatever you bring has to be better than that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got a deal like you want him to invest in you, you have to make your deal better than what he's already doing. So kind of come to him and say, hey, you know, how are you finding your deals? I got people in Birmingham that can find deals. What's your buying criteria? What you're looking for? And from there, you can turn it and say, hey, once I got an opportunity to where you can make X amount of dollars, it's better than what you're currently getting. So he at least will listen if you telling him that he can make more money dealing with you.
I got you.
Yeah, find a way to add value to what you do for him.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
What else?
Yes. All right, next question. Like, should I approach him as right now, basically, as a wholesaler, and just because he is buying Birmingham up?
Yes, approach him as a wholesaler and find out what he's doing,
what he need,
what's his desires, what he wants. You got to provide him, or at least sound like you can provide him what he wants at a better rate than what he's currently getting.
Okay.
But whatever he tell you he getting, you got to make it seem like it ain't nothing.
Okay.
Then you better go look.
You getting 10% return, or I can get you 15.
I can do that.
I'll just be honest with you. That'll pique his interest.
Yeah. I got you. I miss y'all, man.
We miss
All
you.
Text message.
I'm gonna lower your hand.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I got some other hand raisers. Tori, I did see your comment earlier too. Thank you so much. She said that we did an awesome job at the AIA
Thank
meeting.
you very much.
Thank you, Tori. Tori said, Tori, I can unmute you if you want. Let me see. If you don't want to be unmuted, just deny it. Okay. All right. So Tori put, is building a buyer's list the first thing you should do when starting out? If so or not, what do you recommend?
I recommend building a buyer's list because if you don't have a buyer's list, you don't know what properties to go look for. You can just be out there throwing darts on the wall trying to find anything. But if you have a buyer's list and you're calling bandit signs and you're calling people who are looking for properties, you know what to look for. Real estate is huge. It's a big market. It's different price point, and each investor likes their own little sweet spot. So build your buyer's list, and that's going to start with your online presence. That's going to help with your buyer's list so that you can keep track of them and know what they want. Now, there are sheets and things of that nature that if you can email us, we can kind of send you some personalized sheets that the questions that you need to ask them when you're talking to them. So build the buyer's list as big as you can. But that's not the be all end all. For us right now, we're actually looking for end users, which are buyers, before we actually find the property. So we're doing the same thing, just in a different way. Build your buyers list. If so or not, what do you recommend? I recommend you calling all bandit signs, the people that say we buy houses, we close fast. Every time you see one, write the number down. Call all of them, get the information. I recommend you going on Craigslist and looking for people that's selling investor specials or handyman fix-ups or properties of that nature so that you can get their contact information. It's all about putting in the work and making the phone calls and be able to communicate back with them what some of your other buyers are looking for.
Tori, I'm going to unmute you. Did that answer your question?
Most definitely.
Awesome.
That was excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm glad you joined, Tori.
Hey, I'm glad, like I say, I was there the night when you guys was at the AIA meeting. You guys was perfect. I see everything you guys moving. You have totally made me this time to keep moving forward. I will not stop.
No, don't stop.
Don't stop.
And your wife told you she has your back, so take that.
Oh, you remember who I am?
I know exactly who you are with your voice. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm.
Quick side note, 2 minutes. We spoke at our AIA club last week, and Mr. Torrey,
Early this week, Monday.
well, Monday this week, and Mr. Torrey was so impressed with the things that we were doing. He actually took off work so that he could be the first one there to hear what we had to say. And I'm just glad that he's actually come back to listen to more and get more information.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you.
Tori. Miss Smith, I'm going to unmute you. Okay, I hear you now.
Oh, all right. How you doing?
We're doing
Good.
great. How are you?
I am well. My question has to do with marketing, but I don't know if you'll be able to help me on the real estate part. As far as marketing on social media, would you recommend, I know I see a lot of up and coming businesses, like shout out other businesses to get like their recognition, but it may also bring more followers from them as well. Would you recommend that, or would you recommend just promoting yourself first and then start maybe bringing other people in? Or You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I think it kind of all depends on what is being marketed. If you're doing an event and someone else is doing it with you, then you shout out
Hmm.
the business owner. If you're just shouting them out for no reason, like make it relevant. Promote yourself. Um, get more of a, what is it called? Word of mouth, so that others are promoting you, and then go from there. But only shout out other businesses, in my opinion, where you're collaborating or they're doing something that's really worth shouting out. Don't just do it just to gain followers, because I don't think it gains followers.
If one thing that I've noticed on social media, Facebook, things of that nature is similar to what you said. I know it's a couple of businesses that when they post, I share their stuff, and when I post, they share my stuff,
Right.
and it's almost a untalked about thing that just kind of developed. And a lot of times it wasn't because of them, it was because what they were putting out there was actually adding value. And I'm just in the business of adding value to the people that's on my list. So if it's adding value or if it's something that my people can use, I'll share it, I'll do whatever to promote it. And in turn, a lot of times they do the same for us. Like we have a credit repair company that we work closely with that we're affiliated with. And I send their stuff out all the time because that's value to my people.
Right.
And in return, they send my stuff out. So if you can build those internal relationships to where if you share, they share, I think it can actually grow to something good.
Okay. Understandable. Thank you.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Yeah.
Okay.
So not really a shout out, just a share, and it should be for your people,
Okay.
whoever your audience is.
Okay.
All right.
Got a question.
Miss Kathy, I'm gonna unmute you. Do you want to be unmuted? Somebody is unmuted though. No. Okay. So her question was, can you have incentives for your buyer for real estate marketing? Absolutely. You can do whatever incentives you want. Wait. Who's unmuted? Gotcha. It was Tiff. Yes. Hold on. Oh, okay. That wrong person. Can you have incentives for your buyer for real estate marketing? Yes, you can have incentives for whatever you choose to have incentives for. You can say, I'll give you half price on rent if you rent from us. That's the incentive. And you'll put it in your marketing. If you rent this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, the first month's half off. So definitely you can do that. If you're looking for a buyer, you can do it for either the agent. You can give the agent double commission or commission and a half. You can throw it in an incentive wherever you can afford it.
We actually created a joint venture today with a gentleman who has a buyers list of lease purchase people, and we actually going to track it through an incentive. We created a promo code for his people to use that's going to give them free applications. So to answer your question, yes, and we do it every day.
Tori, could you recommend your top 3 steps when starting out in real estate investing, not including buyer's list? You're welcome, Miss Kathy. Top 3, that was deep. Top 3. Marketing.
That was a big one. That was a good one.
Marketing. You need a list.
Website presence is big. I got one great one for you. Get you some business cards. That's a big one. Get you some business cards so when you go out to talk to people and mingle with people that you can pass out your business cards, and that gives you a professional look. But on top of that, on that business card, you got to have a website and a phone number. So website and business card are one in the same. So I'll let Ashley give you another one, and I'll try to think of the next big one.
So let's say website because they need somewhere to look to make sure you're legit. Let's do business cards, and you need a list because at some point you need to start calling people and getting some houses. So finding a good list so that you can do some kind of marketing.
I think bandit signs are important also. When we first started, we put out a lot of bandit signs, and that helped build our buyers list. In the beginning, you can't exclude buyers list because everything you do is going to be to build that buyers list. That buyers list is king of kings. And once you have a good buyers list, it's easy to move properties. It's easier to find properties, to know what you're looking for.
Website, business cards, a list.
Tracking, some form of tracking your list.
Yeah, those are my top 3.
I agree.
Did they answer your question, Tori? Shoot me another question if you have one. I'm gonna, let's see. Tori, I can hear you now.
Yes, that definitely, most definitely, you guys answered my question. I appreciate it a lot.
Okay, awesome. Good job. Yeah. Edward, I'm going to unmute you.
Okay, got 3 quick questions. First one, do y'all have any good any good book recommendations, like entrepreneur related? It don't really got to be how to in real estate, but just like more like mindset, like some books that's really help y'all, just stay consistent and everything like that.
The Slight Edge is a good one. I think I told you guys that before. It's basically saying that if you continue to do what you do, you will have a slight edge over your peers, over everybody. So if you eat right for a whole year, you start to get that slight edge of being healthy and having a healthier body than someone who decided that they're going to eat wrong. And eventually that gap end up being about this big. So if you're consistent and you keep doing what you do, when you first start, there's no difference. Like there's no big deal. But as the time goes, it's like that. And that's what sets you out from the crowd. So The Slight Edge is one of my favorites.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I love that book.
Major.
I love that.
Eddie, that was a good one. I'm trying to think. I'm reading this one. It's really good.
I read one by Tony Robbins too. I forgot the name of it.
It's right there.
Money Maker the Game.
Money Master the Game. Yeah, that one.
Money Master the Game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right, second question.
Okay.
What y'all saying? Something?
What's the book I'm reading? Chasing the Lion?
Chase the Lion.
Chase the Lion.
That's a good one.
Chase the Lion?
Yes.
Okay.
And
all right.
in a nutshell, that book is basically saying if your dreams aren't big enough to scare you, they're not big enough. Chew on that.
That makes sense. Okay, second question. What are some critical things you look for when considering a potential tenant?
Evictions.
Evictions.
Do they have any? How recent was it? And how often, if they happen?
This is going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Very biased. And what's the other word?
But then don't say.
I just got to give him. I mean, he asking, so I got to tell him. Over time, we found that 2-people household tend to last better. Well, it's a husband and wife, a boyfriend and girlfriend. or same sex, just two people, two incomes coming in. Because what we found is if one income is the only thing that's holding everything together,
Hmm.
it only takes something small to knock it off. It only takes a 4th of July. It
Hmm.
only takes going back to school. And once a person gets off on their rent, it's rare that they catch back up.
Hmm.
So two incomes coming in usually is a good thing to look at along with evictions.
I would just say, I wouldn't say two incomes, I would say income period. If you get someone and they're barely meeting the threshold for rent, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be pushing it, and something may happen. They're not going to be able to afford it, and then they're not going to be able to bounce back. Just to be honest. Sometimes we'll say, well, instead of 3 times the rent, you need to make 2 times the rent. Well, truth be told, you can't make 2 times the rent, pay your light bill, pay your water bill, eat, take care of your family, and still afford the house. So
You say you can or can't?
you can't.
Can't. Okay. Okay.
Not on 2 times the rent.
Yeah. At
Not on
three
two
times,
times.
you might be able to do it, but not on 2 times.
Gotcha.
Just a piece of advice when dealing with rentals, expect them to not pay.
Okay.
And when they pay, it's actually a plus.
Okay.
Just being honest with you, like if you put the in your mind that hey, they're gonna pay every month, and when they don't pay, that strikes a nerves and that gets you a little teed off. But you have to budget in your finances. You have to plan for them not to pay so that everything they pay is actually gravy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Third question.
Yeah. Third question. So, do y'all have do y'all have good recommendations for some type of like attorney, whether it be like a landlord tenant attorney or just like a general attorney that's kind of help y'all out? Because I'm having difficulty like finding one, so I wanted to see if y'all have like a recommendation, like, just like an attorney y'all can consult about landlord or tenant issues or, stuff like that.
The person who I always call is Jeff.
Jeff.
Jeff Palmer. I call him for pretty much everything, email him for everything. He's probably the best that I know that knows how to deal with it, can give me answers, kind of give me ideas. Someone else?
I forgot. It's another guy in Birmingham. I want to say his name is Henry. I can get it to you, but he's a big eviction lawyer in Birmingham. I think he'll be somebody good to talk to as
Mm-hmm.
far as just random things and questions. I think you have to build that rapport with them
Yeah.
so that it's not just you're just freeloading off of them, but you got to build a rapport so that they know that you're serious and you're just not trying to get the information.
Gotcha.
Because they usually charge for
Yeah, I figured that.
it.
All right. Thanks, guys. I really
We
appreciate
got
it.
Tori Denise Evans, but Denise specializes more so in tax properties.
Okay.
I don't know if she specializes in anything else. Do you
I
know?
don't know.
But we always talk to her about
Yeah.
any questions we have on tax properties.
Like to give an example with the tax property, she has a consulting fee of I think like $100 for
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so for that, understand lawyers are expensive, and for what you want to do, you just got to kind of pay to get that knowledge or research it so that you can make that conversation effective. And after you pay them a couple times, they'll give you a couple free ones.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I can honestly say that 30 minutes with Denise was like, whew, that was a lot to write in 30 minutes. Like she packed it in with stuff.
Mhm.
So
Pertaining to tax properties.
yeah.
Okay.
Good too.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
All right.
Any other questions before we go to the last slide? All right. I don't see any more hands. Wait. Really? How has has your marketing been the past 3 months? It's been amazing. I haven't been able to, well, I've been able to keep my hands off and not be so hands-on and worry about, is this going out? Do I have enough time? Trying to wreck while driving to do marketing. And the person that asked me that question was actually my marketing guy. He's out sick this week and I've been missing him like crazy. If you notice, I haven't posted much because it's hard doing events and posting it at the same time.
We 3 weeks into the rehab and we ain't got one video.
One video, but I have the video. I just haven't. We miss you, Mike. Come back, please.
Would you recommend Section 8?
Would you rent to Section 8 renters? Absolutely. Section 8 is good money coming in. Just be careful. Make sure you're up to that Section 8 code because there are a lot of repairs that need to meet code. So make sure you're up to code. That money is good money. And some Section 8 renters will take care of your house. I know you hear that, oh, they don't take care of your house. Some will take care of it. It's kind of all depending on that individual. And once you start learning how to screen your tenants, it doesn't matter what they're on. They could be on SSI. They can be on Section 8. They can be on disability. You can tell by the way they take care of themselves if they're going to take care of your property.
To piggyback on what she said, she took the words out of my mouth. Even if it's Section 8, you're still screening. Just because they have Section 8 don't mean government money, come on into my house. You still have to screen them. You still have to check their background. You still have to check and see what they're doing in their past so that it won't affect you now. So good screening doesn't change no matter what the source of income is.
Side note, not the SN. Miss Smith wrote, from the outside, I can say your marketing has been great. I see DP every time I log on. So good job, Mike. Yes, good job, Mike. No, thank you, Eddie, to Section 8. All right. Never say never. All right. So we're going to tell you what we've been working on. The house all the way over here. Nice if I don't. There we go. This house, if my mouse behaves, all the way to the top that says under contract to buy. We actually have that under contract. It's a 3-2. It's in Center Point. We hope we'll probably have that closed the end of the month, close to October is what it's looking like. The house next to it is the garden home we have. Is under contract to sell. Hoping that by September 20th, that one's closed. We just did a lease purchase yesterday for that house right there that says lease purchase with the garage.
In Calera.
It's in Calera. And we just listed our Glen Iris rehab. Yesterday, we purchased the house that's on the bottom with the orange shutters. We purchased that yesterday. That one's in Adamsville. Today, we just purchased the house with the door open. That's in Roebuck. And we're currently renovating the house right there. That's the South Roebuck one that was orange. We got paint on it. They've already knocked down the wall. They put the shutters up. They painted the garage doors. They painted the whole inside. They painted one coat in the cabinet, on the cabinets.
Put the floors in the bathroom.
They put the tile in the bathroom down. They put the drywall up in the basement. They did the French drain. We're on week 3, but we're going into week 4. So they've done a lot. I'm glad you love the black shutters, Eddie. So they're actually working really good. I'm thinking in the next 2-3 weeks they may be finished.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. So that one has been moving really, really quick. So have a lot going on, as you can see. We'll actually get to move the Calera one off, and we'll probably be working 4 rehabs in the next few weeks at the same time.
I have a long day tomorrow. I'm probably meeting 4 or 5 general contractors. I need to expand my team, so that's what the bar is going to consist of. Wish me luck.
I'm waiting on Eddie to say good luck. But that concludes our webinar for tonight. Thank you guys for joining. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at dphomebuyer@gmail.com. Again, it's right there at the bottom, D as in dog, P as in Paul, homebuyer@gmail.com. We'll love to answer any questions you have.
Quick question to the people that's still on. We've been thinking about doing the group me so that we can answer questions at a more rapid pace. If they don't all have to be on the webinar, and sometimes other people can answer them too. If that's something that you would be interested in, just type yes so that we can know that people are interested in it. If not, it's no pressure. If you don't want to do it, that's something you don't use, it's no problem. But just give us a quick yes or no if you're still on, if you want to be a part of our group meeting.
All right, we got 2 yeses right
2
now.
yeses so far.
Eddie prefers to annoy us in person. You haven't been here lately, Eddie. I can't tell.
Eddie, you do have a lot of knowledge. You've been around us longer than a lot of people on here, so you can probably answer some of the questions that's going to be coming.
Someone has raised their hand. Give me 1 second.
Yes, we didn't consider people that's on the phone.
Was that a raising of hand, Galaxy X8, for yes, or did you want to speak? Say it again. You're breaking up.
Yes, for me.
Yes for you? Okay. Galaxy, can you send me an email so I know exactly who you are?
Yes.
Okay. Deal. Thank you.
Yes, Eddie, that was the name of the book. It's a great read about investing and saving your money. Eddie got one more question. He put the last one, he promised. You all right, Eddie? This is what it's for. We here, we got the time. Our kids ain't acting up, so take advantage of it.
I got someone unmuted. I'm trying to see who. Hold on, Eddie.
That was his question. Great question, Tori.
Once you email us about the questionnaire, I'll shoot you over an email that has our buying criteria in it.
And a form so that you can ask the other investors to get good answers on what their buying criteria are. That is so funny.
Did I get all to her? Yeah. Hold on, Eddie.
Last one. Okay. What is, see, it just came to me, but what is a good way that y'all approach potential like partners or people interested in real estate that may not have the time to do the daily operations? Like someone who would want good returns, like what's a good way that y'all approach them without seeming like the only thing you want, you know what I'm saying? But like in an add value type of way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the only thing you want is their money.
I don't want to come at them like, I don't want to come at people like, hey, I need you, like please give me money. It's more like I want to come at them like, okay, maybe I can help you if you're looking to invest in real estate. Like, in y'all experience, like how have y'all approached like family members and like people y'all know about this thing, because it's kind of a tricky topic to me. So wanted to see that right quick.
Advice that I could give is find out their why.
Find out the why.
Why are they even talking to you about it?
Mm-hmm.
And once you find out their why, That's what you use. You use their why to energize them and get them going and get them motivated to invest. Because if they're talking to you about investing or they're continuing the conversation, there's something intriguing about what you're saying.
Mm.
I have one private investor that his daughter just in high school. So he wants to invest so that he can build up her college fund in 4 years to go to school.
Mm.
So once we started talking about that, he was ready to go at the drop of a dime. It was just about executing and getting it going. I have another private investor who has a personal situation and he has money just sitting there not doing nothing. So he's like, hey, let me invest it with you guys. I trust you. Let me make some money and let that be.
Before you do it. The more you talk, the more you say it and have those conversations, the easier it is. So always talk about real estate, talk about how you can help them make returns. It gets the butterflies out of your system, it gets you more comfortable, then it kind of gets people like, hey, he might know what he's talking about. He might know what he's doing.
And in the beginning, never refer to yourself as the lone wolf. When you're talking to them, it's always, I have a network of investors. I'm working with other people so that they feel comfortable lending to you. And even though that network is just trees, they really don't know that. So you gotta always say, yeah, I work with a network of investors and we buy houses and we do this and we do that and we can be their network.
I was gonna say, actually, you do
I mean,
have
you
a
got
network.
a
Your
network. I'm
buyer's
just talking
list
in
is also
general,
your
but
network.
like anybody over here can basically use us as your network, and the things that we're doing, you can basically portray them as partners with us so that you can look better than what
I've been doing that. Sorry, I didn't ask permission. That's why I was laughing. I haven't asked permission yet, but it's a good thing y'all said that because I'd be shouting out my mentors all the time. I'd be like, hey, I got some mentors that can help me, So that's good to know. That's good to know. So I don't get sued.
No, you're not gonna get sued. No, we're fine with that. We're fine with that.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all.
You're welcome. We appreciate you. I'm guessing Kathy was raising her hand for the. Kathy, do you have a question or were you just raising your hand for the group me? All right, you guys. So
let's recap who we got all for yes on the group.
We have a yes for Kathy. We have a yes for Tori. A yes for Eddie. I believe.
A yes for Miss Smith.
A yes for Miss Smith. A yes for Tiffany. Yep, that was everybody. Okay, so and then a yes for Galaxy S8 that's gonna email me, okay. So I know exactly.
I think that's enough people to start it, in my opinion. So be looking for the group me to come. If we don't have your phone number directly, we'll reach back out to you. The only person I think we don't have a phone number on is Galaxy
and Tori.
Did we not get Tori card that night?
Tori, his number might be in the email.
Okay.
Might be in the email. Got it.
Provide. We got it, Tori. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
But we'll start that up. So be looking out for it. And don't be shy in the group me. Ask your questions.
Yes.
The question you don't ask is the dumb question.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care. Have some questions for next week.
Next week, I'm thinking of doing credit as a topic, credit repair and things of that nature. So we'll see how it turns out. We'll ask them if they got anything.
And if you guys have anything, Tori, come on, let's do your shout out. Hold on.
You can hear me now?
All right. I can hear you.
Hey, I just want to let everybody know. Everybody listening, anybody that's involved in real estate, want to get involved in real estate, family and friends. Invite them to this webinar because these are some great people. We want to build them up. We want to get their following and help brand their name. That's all I want to say. This is all I've been looking for. I promise you.
Thank you, Tori.
Appreciate it, Tori,
thank
man.
you. We appreciate you. We hope that we're everything that you need to get the ball rolling for you. We know you'll be great. So don't give up. Keep working it. Even though you're tired, make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys soon. Take care. Hit us up if you have any questions. And we look forward to talking to you.
Bye-bye. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
And Stan.